Hi, welcome to Center Stage Guitar Academy. In this lesson, we're going to be learning Ain't No Sunshine by Bill Withers. Okay, this tune has 5 chords in it. It's got an A minor 7. It's based out of the key of A minor. An A minor 7, an E minor 7, a G7, and another E minor 7 in a different position, and a D minor 7. So mostly minor chords and minor 7 chords. Okay, so let's start with the first chord, the A minor 7. Now we've learned A minor 7 like this with our bar chord with the root on the E string. We're gonna play this a little bit different. We're just gonna play our 2nd fret on the 5th string of the our 5th fret with our 2nd finger on the low E string. Then our 3rd finger is going to play the 5th fret of the D string, and our pinky is going to play the 5th fret of the G string. And we're gonna finger pick this tune. So we're gonna hit our thumb on the E string, and then with our 1st and 2nd fingers, we're gonna pick the D and G string. And that's gonna be the pattern throughout the verse. But let's talk about the rest of the chords first. So then we're going to go to an E minor 7, which basically you don't need to use this hand at all. It's going to pick the E string and the D and G string. And then we're going to go to this G7, which we know our bar chord, our G7 bar chord with the root on the E string, dominant 7 chord. And then back to our A minor 7. Then we're going to use our minor 7 bar chords with the root on the A string, right here on the 7th fret A string. So we're going to bar the 7th fret, 3rd finger on the 9th fret of the D string, and 2nd finger on the 8th fret of the B string. That's an E minor 7. Then we're going to move that back a whole step to D minor 7 on the 5th fret. Okay, so let's start. So we start with our A minor 7. So it's a thumb, kind of like a bass line. Thumb, then pick the D and G string. So we just alternate that pattern. Two times. Then we go to our E minor 7, so we don't need fingers down on our fret hand. You pick that once, same pick pattern. Then we go to our G7, same pick pattern. Always picking the low E string, the D, and the G string with our 1st and 2nd finger. So you pick that once, and then back to the A minor 7. So one time through the verse progression. So that's the verse. Now, after that, it goes up to there's not really a chorus, it's just kind of one progression going around the entire time. Then we're going to go to this E minor 7 with the root on the A string at the 7th fret. We're going to pick that 4 times through our pattern. And you're going to pick the A string as our bass note, and then you're going to pick the G and B strings with our 1st and 2nd finger. Then we go to our D minor 7. Then we go back to the main thing. And that is the whole tune. It just rotates through that chord progression. that's one time through the whole progression. Now, we can add a little bass line to make it a little more interesting. Okay, so that bass line was in between the 2 times around in the verse. So it's open E, 3rd fret E string, 4th fret E string, back to the A, or back to our chord. Then the second bass line leading up to our E minor 7 at the 7th fret is open A, C, 3rd fret A string, D, 5th fret A string to our chord. And that is pretty much it. If you throw that bass line in there, it really add to what you're doing. So that's it for Ain't No Sunshine. Again, it's in the key of A minor. So we have our A minor, which serves as the 1 chord. The E minor 7 is the 5 chord, and again, we're in a minor key, so they're going to be mostly minor chords. The G7 is our flat 7. If we play our A minor scale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the G7, and the D7 that we play later on is the 4 chord. So it's kind of a 1, 1, 4, 5 progression in a minor key.